Welcome to Meeple Mentor. I'm Jared and we're about to play Cuphead fast-rolling dice game. Let's take a look. I'll show you how. Feel free to pause the video as needed to follow along with your copy of the game. My goal is this video can not only teach you to play, but can be shown at the game table to help set up and teach the game at your next game session. As part of that goal, I've added chapter timestamps in the description to the different sections of the tutorial to easily recap relevant rules for you. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell below the video so you don't miss any of my latest content. If you've played the Cuphead video game, you'll be happy to know the board game version is very much in the same spirit. It's fast, frenetic, difficult, and very fun. You'll immediately see how the artwork of the game matches the video game directly and gives a very similar play experience. For the uninitiated, Cuphead and Mugman are friends who have made a bet with the devil and lost. Instead of losing their souls immediately, they've agreed to collect soul contracts for him. Head to Porkrind's Emporium to gain new weapons, charms, and abilities using coins earned from defeating bosses. Players will be working together to defeat up to 8 bosses. The developers have chosen the 8 most popular from the video game, with increasing difficulty, of course. Before we get into it all, let's take a look at how to set it up. Lay out the boss board in the middle of the table. Place the boss health dial below in the divot. Shuffle the wallop cards and place the deck below the wallop text on the boss board. Create supply piles of time tokens, coins, and parry tokens next to the board. There are 4 possible characters to play as: Cuphead and Mugman, plus their 2 friends, Miss Chalice and Elder Kettle. They are identical in gameplay. Take the character's player board and keep it near you. Each player should collect the 6 dice in their character's color. Check the color of the engraved icons. Everyone should have 5 white action dice and 1 black die. This is called your X action die. Give each player 3 health tokens, shown as HP. These should go on their indicated spaces on the player boards. Now you'll need to select which boss to fight against. For your first game, that'll be the boss deck number 1. In future games, you can replay bosses you've defeated or choose to move on to the next level boss. Each boss deck has every card you'll need to set up the boss and all its phases. The first card should always show the components and the order to put them in. This is helpful to put it back for future game sessions. I should note at this point that I'm a card sleever, and after sleeving every card in the game, they no longer fit in the box provided. So I used vinyl tape to wrap them together and a label maker to identify which boss deck they are. Take the boss deck and take a look at the component card. Sometimes there's extra rules for the boss, which will be found on the back of this card or on the next card. Review these before setting it aside. The next part of the boss deck should be the boss Phase 1 character card and their Phase 1 attack cards. Stop once you get to the King Dice card. Place the rest of the deck off to the side. Place the boss's character card on the plastic stand and set it at the top of the boss board at the notch. The character card will give you their starting health, which is dependent on how many players there are. The first number is for a solo game, second number for a 2-player game, and so on. Set the boss health dial to their total health and put it back by the board. Take all the attack cards for the phase and shuffle them up. Put them in a face-down deck to the left of the boss board where it says Draw. Everyone should now decide on a difficulty to fight the boss at. Whatever you choose will be kept throughout the whole fight for every phase of the boss. Playing on a higher difficulty level will give you bonus points and a higher grade, but makes the game much more challenging. You'll need to get a timer to play the game. They've created a free app that you can download that will give you a timer and fight music to use. Plus, it can even help calculate your score and grade at the end. Only 1 player will need to download the app. To play on easy, you'll have a 20-second timer. Medium difficulty is 15 seconds, and hard is only 10 seconds. Cuphead is played one round at a time, where players will go through 5 steps in a row together each time. The boss will attempt to attack the players, and they each need to defend against the attack cards that round. Players can do damage as well, depending on their assigned dice. New boss attack cards will come out each round. Once you go through the attack deck, reshuffle it and keep going. However, you'll have to take a time token, collectively, which affects your final score. Should players deal enough damage to knock out the boss, proceed to the next phase of the boss. If it was his final phase, players defeat him and gain rewards. Let's look at the steps now for a single round. The first step is to reveal the top 3 attack cards and place them in the empty spaces in the order drawn. If one of the cards shows the wallop image, draw a 4th card. Each card shows 1 or 2 icons. This is what players will need to roll and assign on their board in order to defend against the attack. If they don't, they'll lose an HP. Using the Cuphead app, set the timer for 10, 15, or 20 seconds, depending on how hard a difficulty the group wants to play. Whatever you choose, keep that time span for the rest of the boss deck. Make sure everyone has grabbed all 6 of their dice and are ready to go. Then, start the timer. Players will start rolling dice all at once together. All the dice can be re-rolled over and over as long as the timer is still going. Any unassigned dice must be re-rolled with the rest. So dice can either be locked into a space on the player board or remain in the dice pool to be rolled. You can't set aside a rolled dice for later. You must assign it to the board then, or re-roll it. The icons on the cards need to be assigned to your board in that card's section in order to block its attack. Each pair of dice spaces on their board corresponds to 1 attack card in play. If there are only 3 attack cards, the 4th pair of spaces is not used. After each roll a player makes, they can assign any of them to their player board following the placement rules. The dice must be assigned on spaces from left to right. Within a pair, the order of the icons doesn't matter, as long as both are present for the single card. Once a die is assigned, it can't be moved or changed. Any number of spaces can be skipped to place a die, but you'll be forfeiting being able to place anything you've passed. You can't go back to a previous card pair. Any and all of your rolled dice can be assigned to your player board, such as if you rolled exactly what you needed on your first roll. For attack cards that have 2 icons shown, both icons will be needed in that section in order to block the attack. Having only one of its die there will not do anything. The 2 dice added can come from separate rolls. Sometimes you may want to skip trying for a difficult attack card if you've rolled what you need for the cards after it. You've only got a few seconds anyway. By having the dice with the right icons in the right card spots, you'll only be defending. In order to attack, you must assign an extra shoot icon in these spaces. Attack cards that need 2 icons cannot be assigned a shoot icon. Also, an attack card must be defended in order for the shoot icon to work. In the case of an attack card that requires a shoot icon, you won't attack with it, only defend. It will take another shoot icon to make a hit. You are allowed to first assign a shoot die to a pair in hopes of getting the defending icon required on a later roll. If you don't get the defending icon though, the shoot icon and die is wasted. As soon as the timer ends, all players may assign dice from their final roll, following the normal rules. After everyone's done, each boss attack card is resolved one at a time from left to right. Each player who correctly assigned the dice for the attack card in that pair will dodge the attack and not take any damage. If not fully defended, the player will lose 1 HP token from their player board. If a player puts an extra die in a pair that's unnecessary, they'll still defend against the attack as long as the other die was the right one. By having the extra die be a shoot icon, your attack gets through and causes 1 point of damage to the boss. That's the regular attack, but by using an upgraded weapon, wallop card, charm, or super art, that damage may increase. Add up each player's shots and reduce the boss dial by that amount. If the boss gets knocked out, you don't need to proceed to the next card. Otherwise, resolve the next card until they're all done. After resolving the final attack card on the board, check the boss's current health. If he still has health, clear the cards off the board to the right into a discard pile. Start again with another turn from step 1 by dealing 3 cards from the top of the deck. If the boss deck has been depleted, shuffle the discarded cards and create a new deck to draw from. As a penalty, players take a time token that counts against their final grade score. Just take one for the whole group. The Wallop attack card won't deal damage to players, even if they didn't assign a die to it. However, if players assign the diamond icon to it, they'll get to draw a Wallop card off the top of the deck when that card is resolved. By putting both the diamond and a shoot icon, players will get to attack the boss. A shoot icon without the diamond is wasted. The Wallop cards can be used immediately or held to use for later. Some have a dice icon shown on them. When resolving an attack card, these cards can be played by any player in place of a missing icon. The shoot icon on a Wallop card can be assigned to do damage or to defend, depending on the card. It's used the same as a die. Treat it as a normal attack, not an X attack die. Some Wallop cards provide health tokens, parry tokens, or remove time markers from the group. When a boss attack card requires a parry icon to defend against it, players who successfully dodge it will also gain a parry token when the card is resolved. These are stored on the player board, and up to 3 can be held by each player. A player can spend a parry token when another player loses their last HP token to revive them. Some abilities and super art cards purchased may also use parry tokens. By using your black X die for a successful shoot icon against the boss, you'll get to apply the effect of your weapon as well. The default P-Shooter weapon does 2 damage instead of just 1. The weapon cards and abilities will describe the effect of it. Saving the X die for an attack rather than a dodge means dealing more damage. When a player loses all their HP tokens, they must discard all their parry tokens on their board. Another player could save them by spending a previously earned parry token. The dying player cannot use their own. If revived like this, they rejoin play at the start of the next round. For the rest of the round, the revived player cannot lose health, gain parry tokens, or gain Wallop cards. When a player loses all their health and cannot be revived, discard all Wallop cards and parry tokens. Players must begin again at the beginning of Phase 1 of the boss battle. Alternatively, players could choose to fight against a previously unlocked boss or replay the same boss. Before starting a new fight, players may change out their equipment and weapons from any that they've purchased. When starting the fight, all players begin with full health again. After dealing enough damage to knock out the boss for the current phase, immediately proceed to the next phase. Any attack cards not yet resolved are skipped. No more damage will be dealt to the players, nor will they earn Wallop cards or parry tokens from unresolved attack cards. Set aside the current phase's attack cards and grab the rest of the boss deck. The King Dice card should be on top. Remove that and take out the next phase's cards for the boss. Grab the boss character card for the next phase. Put it in the plastic stand and shuffle the new phase's attack cards. Set the new boss health dial to its new health. The previous phase's cards are no longer needed for now and can be set aside. Shuffle the new phase's attack cards and reveal the top 3 out on the board to prepare the first round of the new phase. Remember to deal a 4th if a Wallop card comes out. Between the phases, players do not refill their health, but will get to keep any unused parry tokens and Wallop cards earned, but not used. When the players have done the final damage to the boss in its final phase, you'll see the knockout card below the King Dice card. The card indicates how many coins each player earns for the victory. Usually it's 4 coins. However, if your group has previously defeated this boss, they'll only earn 1 coin each. Now, players will get to calculate their grade, or score, for the entire fight. The companion app has a scoring tool you can use that easily calculates it by answering a few questions. You can also choose to manually calculate your grade by following the chart on the back of the rules. For each remaining health token, you'll get 10 points. Each parry token and unused Wallop card will give you 5 points. For any time tokens gained, lose 10 points. Finally, you'll get a timer bonus. For using the 10-second timer throughout the fight, gain 20 points. For the 15-second timer, gain 10 points, and no extra points for the 20-second timer. Based on the player count and your score, you'll see your grade on the chart. The save sheets can be used to record your progress. Each player will have their own save sheet to fill out. Circle the grade earned for the boss you fought. Each one is numbered 1 to 8. By improving your grade in a later match, cross out the old result and circle the new one. On the save sheet, you can write your name, character used, equipment cards purchased, coins still available, and any notes that you want to make. When defeating a boss, the next level boss becomes unlocked and can be fought. To mark this fact, circle the lock icon next to the boss number on your save sheet. Any unlocked boss can be replayed. Once a boss is unlocked, you can open its box and attempt to fight it. When done fighting the boss, you may be ready to put it back into its boss deck box for future play. The back of the rulebook offers a quick look at the order of cards for the first boss. It gives you a good idea of how the rest will need to be arranged as well. Check the first card that gave you the component list and boss rules. The phase attack cards should be in the deck from top to bottom in order, separated by the king dice cards. The separate phase attack decks can be random since they'll be shuffled anyway. The boss character cards should be on top of these phase attack decks. With a knockout, you've earned the Pork Grind Emporium cards, so you can pull these out from the boss deck. Only do this if you plan to continue the campaign with the same characters and players. If you didn't defeat the boss, keep all the upgrade cards in the boss deck at the very bottom. By defeating a boss, players may find new Pork Rind Emporium cards at the bottom of the boss deck. These are new equipment cards players can spend coins on to purchase. Each player uses their own coins to purchase their own upgrade. The cost of the upgrade is shown on the left of the card. A weapon offers players new ways to do damage to the boss. They may equip only one weapon card done before the start of a boss battle's phase 1. The new weapon covers up the pea shooter, so it's not being used. Make sure to read the new ways your weapon works and how to effectively use your X die. Players can purchase charms, but can only equip one at a time as well. Just put it near you or above your board to show it's being used. Other purchased weapons and charms you may have should be set aside. All upgrade cards need to be assigned before the start of a boss battle and cannot be changed until the fight is completely over, either when a player dies and you must reset, or knock out the boss. Keep all your unspent coins to purchase more upgrades later in the game when defeating new bosses. Once you've found new Pork Rind Emporium cards, they're unlocked and available to buy in his shop. Keep the unpurchased upgrade cards in its own Pork Rind deck. Keep them out of the boss deck going forward. Any unlocked upgrade can be bought no matter when it was earned. Some items could have a 0 cost and are used immediately, but still do fulfill the purchased item prerequisite on some cards. Whatever players buy, be sure to record it on the save sheets. The Cuphead board game comes with 4 Super Art sealed envelopes. Just like in the video game, when defeating ghosts and mausoleums, super arts are special and must be earned. Additionally, players can only ever equip one of them at a time, done before a boss fight like the charms and weapons. Keep an eye on each of their listed requirements printed on the outside of their envelopes. Once you've met the objective, you may open it and add them to your available upgrades. Fans of the Cuphead video game will know that there are many bosses that use airplanes for battle with a flying boss. Starting with the second boss, you'll find some air battle bosses in the board game. While they functionally work the same way, there's a few changes that make them a little harder. In the second boss deck, you'll immediately notice new rules on the card and a set of 4 airplane weapon cards. You must use the airplane attack weapon in air battles. It covers your pea shooter and prevents you from using any other purchased weapon. The big difference in air battles is that the boss attack cards will show 2 new icons on them, the fly up and fly down icons. In order to defend against them, you use the jump icon and duck icons on your dice. The jump corresponds to the fly up icon and the duck icon to the fly down icon. It makes it difficult to keep in your head which die results you're trying to get in the frantic rolls. The game can easily be played solo with very few minor rule changes. Between rounds, a player can spend 2 parry tokens to gain 1 health. This is after resolving attack cards and before dealing new cards. It's not referring to between phases. You won't have to wait that long. You can do this after resolving any round of attack cards. Lastly, if you lose all your health and have 3 parry tokens, you can save yourself from death. Spend all of them and discard any remaining attack cards in the round. You can then start a new round with 1 health. Good luck. Keep the rulebook handy and check BoardGameGeek.com for FAQs and extra content. The Meeple Mentor channel is now part of the board game community, the Gateway Network, made up of great upcoming board game content creators. The network includes Instagrammers, podcasters, YouTubers, artists, and more. Head to thegatewaynetwork.com to support new and independent board gamers. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Like and subscribe if you found this teaching helpful. Stick around to watch another Learn to Play video. And remember, teach when you can, but always be learning. See you next time.